Hello and welcome to Bird Fans Forever, episode 73 with Landon Moore. How you doing, Landon?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is going to be awesome. All right, so we always start off the podcast with how'd you get to ISU? You're a hometown boy from Bloomington, right? Dad played football at Eastern. Your mom works at State Farm. We kind of laughed about that off air. I played basketball against your dad, so in case you ask him and he's forgot, at least I can say it to him also.
Yep.
But you're a Bloomington boy, so kind of take us through your journey to get to ISU.
I've had an interesting journey up to this point. I mean, going back to high school. So, like you said, I'm from here, born and raised. My dad's the principal of Bloomington High School, and he's been in that position for a majority of my life. So the thought of me ever going to like a different high school like never really crossed my mind. And then the pandemic hit at the end of my junior year. And at that time, at the end of my junior season of high school, I got a good junior year, but I was like a tweener between like a Division II player and a D1 player. And I was really looking forward to my last travel season to prove that I was a Division I player, or even my last senior season to prove I was a Division I player, but I didn't get that opportunity due to the pandemic. So it was like, unforeseen circumstances. We've never gone through anything like
Yep.
that. So me and my family made the decision that was probably best for me to like go to like a prep school where I can, have the opportunity to play more games and play in front of college coaches and probably against better competition as well. So I moved to Western Reserve Academy. It's a boarding school, probably like 10 minutes outside of Akron and then 40 minutes outside of Cleveland. Went there for a year and a half. Like I graduated and did a post-grad year there. And then my only offer out of there was from St. Francis, PA, small D1, like in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And I'll always be grateful and indebted to that coaching staff there for giving me the opportunity to live out my dreams. And I'm thankful that I'm still close with them to this day. We still text every once in a while, still call every once in a while. So I'm grateful to be close with them.
So hey, Landon, where is that St. Francis, PA, and what conference is that in, and who do they come play against?
It's in the NEC Northeast Conference. It's in the town's called Loretto. I'll be shocked if anyone listening has ever heard of Loretto, Pennsylvania. But Loretto's probably it's like literally in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, like 2.5 hours east of Pittsburgh and about 4 hours west of Philadelphia. But yeah, what made that school special was just the people there. Just never had a bad interaction with anybody at that entire school, anybody in the program. So I'm just, so grateful for my experience there. Had a good freshman season, and then I had been away from home for about 2.5 years at that point, and I was just hoping to transfer and find an opportunity where I could play closer to home. So my parents make it easy for them to come and watch games, and ended up getting a call from Coach Mata and Butler, and I knew right away that was probably the spot I'd end up at. And that was like a dream come true to like growing up. My favorite conference to watch in college basketball was the Big East. So the fact that I got to play in the Big East for the last 2 years was a dream come true, and I'll always be grateful for that experience and grateful for the coaching staff at Butler for giving me that opportunity, and got to play against some of the best teams in the country, some of the best players in the country, best coaches in the country, and some great atmospheres as well. So had a great last 2 years, had a good time, and then after last season, my junior season, I was looking just for like a better opportunity for me on the court, I would say, and I wanted to find a program where we could win some games. I unfortunately haven't done a lot of winning my first 3 years of college basketball, and it's been, so upsetting for me. So I was kind of looking for those two things, and then entered the portal right after the season ended, and then got in contact with Coach Peden and Coach Dockich and Coach Slay not long after that. And for my first time transferring, I already had built a relationship with Coach Peden and Coach Dockich because they recruited me the first time around. It's actually kind of funny. Like the first time I transferred, I think the portal opened on say like March 5th or something. Like that was like the first day that schools could contact you. And I was in town, and since schools could talk to me, they was like, "Hey, do you guys want to come up this afternoon and have a meeting?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So I knew them from the first time around I transferred. So this time around, it wasn't like me talking to other schools and like getting to know,
Right.
schools getting to know me for the first time, me getting to know schools for the first time. So it was relatively easy, and they're great people. You guys know how good the staff is, just how good of people they are and how good of coaches they are. So once they presented an opportunity, they wanted me to, finish my college career as a Redbird. It was really a no-brainer, just considering the opportunities and the chance we have, to do something special next year. And I think it'd be really cool for me to end my college career, like possibly doing something special for my hometown team. And then here we are, and getting finishing up the last week of summer workouts, and I'm super excited where this team is at, and more importantly, where we're going to be at in November and December, January, February, and March.
So Landon, you did have a really good freshman year, and I think you started was it 17, the first 17 games? It looked like you got hurt and then came back for the conference tournament. One of those really good games was against Butler. Was that the game that caught their eye and then they contacted you afterwards?
Yeah, so I would be curious, like, if I either had a bad game that game against them, or if I didn't even play them at all, like if they would have recruited me. But the fact that they saw me in person, I had a really good game against them. That definitely helped out a lot
Always.
in my recruitment. And that was like my closest game to home my freshman year. So I probably had about 25 or 30 people from here drive over to Indy, and I have family in Indy as well, so they were able to make that game. So that was a really cool experience of playing Hinkle for the first time. And yeah, I wish we would have won the game, but I had a good game, and it was cool. And Coach Mata told me after I got on campus, he was like, I was going to say something to you after the game about, like, you're a really good player. Hopefully we can get you one day, but that's probably illegal. So he did not do that. Yeah, that was a cool experience for sure.
I'm surprised there's any rules left when it comes to recruiting these days.
Right. You can maybe get away with that now. It might have been a little more like prohibited back then. You can maybe get away with that now.
How was it playing in Hinkle?
It was cool. I mean, it's kind of funny because people ask me that question, and I explain it now of, like, it's kind of like if someone, like, lives on the beach. Like, I view it different than if you just go there. Like, so, like, when I went there my freshman year, it was like the coolest thing ever. And then now I look at it, I was like, yeah, it's just Hinkle. Like, I play there every day. But I think as I get older and look back, I'll be able to appreciate it more and more as I get older. Like, I got to play in Hinkle Fieldhouse for 2 years, and the fans there were great. And we didn't, like I said, we didn't win a lot of games those 2 years there, but we never once had to worry about showing up to a game and, it not being close to sold out. No matter who we were playing, it was going to be a big crowd there. It was just the fans in Indiana are crazy. They're crazy, and I hope Butler can get back to their winning tradition because their fans deserve it. I mean, they stuck with the program throughout these last couple of years where there hasn't been as much winning as they would like. So I hope they can get back to it. But yeah, just going back to the original question, Hinkle was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I'm so lucky to have played there.
So when you grew up in Bloomington, did you get the chance to go to RBA, Redbird Arena? Not Sub 2, right?
Yeah, I would go. I'll say me and my family we would go to at least one game every year, maybe a couple. So, like, growing up, my dad played in high school and is still friends with Chris Lowry, who was, longtime coach at Southern.
Yeah.
So anytime they would come up here, we'd go and watch those games. So, but that was when I was, like, really young. But the games I remember the most, it was like a 4-year stretch where you had, like, Doug McDermott came up here and played when he was at Creighton, and then, like, I think the 2 or 3 years after that was when Wichita State was really good. So those are the games I remember coming to the most because I think those games were, like, sold out, like, no seats available, just packed to the top. And I used to be sitting at the very top row, so I could see everything. But yeah, so I would go to a game or two at least every year, and we always support the program, hope they did well. Remember I went to the NIT game against UCF. That was probably, 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Remember that game. So yeah, any chance we got, we just come over to a game. It's only 10, 15 minutes from my house, so it was easy. But yeah, I used to come up to games all the time. And then me and my brother actually went to the kids camp, the summer kids camp when we were little. So I spent
that was a question I had for you. You're a counselor, right? This couple weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
What's that like, being the counselor now?
A couple weeks ago. I like it. It's funny being on the other end of it because I remember it's kind of funny. There was like a couple kids on my team this year. I was with like the 3rd and 4th graders, and there would be a couple kids. I mean, they're what, like 8 years old, so like 9 years old, whatever they are. So if they shoot a shot and miss, or they think they got fouled, or we lose a game, they're probably gonna start crying. And it was funny to me to watch because I was the exact same way. Like if something didn't go my way on the court when I was really young, I would start crying and throwing a fit. So it was funny to be on the other end of it. But I enjoy working the camps. They're fun. Kids are kids as long as they just stay in single file line and you have where everyone is at. It's pretty easy, but it's fun. I like working the camps, and it is cool being on the other end of it this time around.
So you went to Seth Q, and you seen games when there's 8,000-9,000 in the stands. What it could be like, and we've had like 5,000 or 6,000 last couple of years on some of the better games, but with some of the expectations, I mean, there's that possibility we could hit some high attendance. Have you shared with your teammates what it could be like when that arena is just rocking?
I've told them, like, I've seen it before. Yeah, I've told them the stories about when the fans here, like, there's potential for us to get back those high numbers. I think we can get there this year with how good we should be and whatnot. But at least, like, I know there's support in this town for the team. It's not like there's some programs out there where their team could be 20-0 and they would still have like low attendance numbers, but it's not like that here whatsoever. So I'm excited to see the crowds this year, especially if we're winning a lot of games. There'll be a lot of fans there, and especially later in the season for like obviously the Bradley game will always be like the highest attended game no matter what. So I'm excited to be able to play in that rivalry game. But yeah, I've seen this town, come together and show a lot of support for this program, and I think we can get back to that level this year where a lot of the games have high attendance numbers.
Hey, Landon, so Paris Lee, one of the top point guards, and he probably would be top 5, is John Matei. He just visited the team. So tell us about that. And how special was it to see one of the best point guards in ISU history, knowing that that's the position that you play too?
Yeah.
To be able to pick his brain and get anything from him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool to have him come back. Very appreciative of that. Just to have someone who's one of the best players in the school's history be around and share his knowledge and share the court with us. Was super cool. So yeah, he came back. He was here for 2 days. We practiced on both of those days, and he was with us in the practice. So just be on the court with him, try to pick up on some things just from watching, and it's not like he's just is one of the best players in school history, and he's not doing anything now. Like, he's playing in one of the best leagues in the world. Just signed a deal with a team in Russia, I believe. So he's still going at it and I think he's been out of college for like 7-8 years now. So that's super cool. I mean, that's kind of where I want to get to. Like, after this year, hopefully I'm playing professionally and can play for as even half as long as he's playing overseas. So it was super cool. And then we had a team meeting on the second day he was there, and he spoke at the end and just talked about how even though he's playing professionally, he still misses like being in college and being a college athlete. And I've heard this from a lot of people, and I believe it. It's just like being a college athlete is kind of the best time of your life, and especially from the aspect of once you leave college, even if you play professionally, you're never going to be the team setting you have in college where you like really feel like a family is not going to, you don't get that playing professionally. So he kind of spoke on that, and he spoke on, he saw how the potential in the team, like he saw in just the 2 days he was there, and just, he said he's going to be rooting for us as always. And, but yeah, it was super cool for him to come back and spend those 2 days with us. And he went through like a full practice with us. Like, it's not like he just showed up and we played 5-on-5 and he left. Like, he went through all the drills with us, shell drill. We were doing like some finishing drills, like finishing stations. And I even think when he might have been on my team, we lost the drill and we had to run for it. I think he was even running with us too. So he went through a full practice with us. So that was super cool. And, I'm very appreciative that he came back and spent some time with us.
One of the things I thought he did really well was he played great defense.
Yep.
How was that playing against him, and any pointers there?
So I unfortunately didn't get as many reps as I may have wanted to, like of us guarding each other. But just being on the court, I could like see his intensity and just how quick he is, and his instincts are have got him to where he is today. Obviously, really, really good defender, super quick. Yeah, it's helped him play overseas at the highest level over there for a long, long time.
So we talked about Paris, but you've been to some games. Who's some of your favorite ISU players?
Oh, all-time favorite is Osiris Eldridge by far. By far. I mean, I think I even had a mohawk like him when I was,
Oh, really?
when I was little. I'm so serious. Yeah, I'm serious. I can probably find the picture for you. I had a mohawk growing up, and it was probably around the time when he was there. But yeah, me and my brother and my friends, we'll talk about Osiris today. He was I don't think I remember watching him play. That's how young I was, but I just remember how big of a fan like me and my brother were of him, and probably the best ISU player in my lifetime. Just thinking off the top of my head, Paris is close, but I'm about to get the edge. Personally, I'm about to get the edge to Osiris, but that's just because he was like my favorite player growing up. So Osiris, and then biased answer Colton Sandage, I guess. I'll throw him in there. I feel like I have to, but yeah, Osiris and Colton for sure.
Yeah, cool. So you play point guard. Tell us a little about your game and maybe how it's evolved from your freshman year until now.
So yeah, I played point guard my whole life. It's probably where I'm most comfortable at. I can play off ball if need be. And especially on the team this year, we have so many guys who can handle the ball, so I will be off ball a lot, and I'm completely fine with that. Just because we have, like I said, we have so many players who can create for themselves and create for others. So yeah, I played point guard like my whole life. And then at my two different schools, I probably played two like completely different roles. Like at St. Francis, my freshman year was more of like what I had naturally done my whole life. I was bringing the ball up the court, getting us into our offense, and then like creating for others while also like looking to get my own shot here and there. And then when I went to Butler, obviously we had I wasn't one of the best players on the team, so I had like a lesser role. But obviously I hated it in the moment just because I wasn't getting the opportunities offensively that I looked for or that I wanted to. But I think it's going to help me out so much in the long run, and it's going to help me here at Illinois State because I just was thinking last summer, like, obviously I can't control, like going in last season, I told myself, like, I can't control how many times I'm going to shoot. I can't control how many times I'm going to touch the ball, this and that. But what I can control is my effort and my like intensity on defense. So I really focused last off season on my body and get like in the best shape possible, get as strong as possible, get as fast as possible to like not only compete in the Big East, but be a really good defender. And I think I did a great job last year. I feel of, when I was in the game, I was guarding the other team's best guard, and I think I held my own for the most part. So I think like adding those two things together here at Illinois State, where I have that experience of being a point guard my entire life, and I'll have more opportunity here at Illinois State to be a point guard. But on top of that, like I think I've become a really good defender, especially on the ball, as the years have. As my college years have gone on, I've gained more experience, and Coach P told me that's what they needed in the portal after losing Dalton to graduating. That they just needed like a really good on-ball defender that they can stick on the other team's best guard or wing, and try to hold them down for the game. So I look forward to those opportunities. I love playing defense. I take it as a challenge to just hold the other team's best player, whoever I'm guarding, to take them out of their game for that night. So yeah, I think my two different experiences I had so far in college, just meshing them all together, and then that's the player you'll see this year is someone who's skilled offensively, can do a little bit of everything on the ball, off the ball, make good passes, make open shots, create for myself. And then on the other end, I'm gonna look to be not only the best defender on the team, but the best defender in the conference, and just locking up the other team's best player.
So one thing I liked about Dalton, you can see just the way he was built too. How he played with his upper body, the physicality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he said you've put on weight too. Tell us about like changes between like your freshman year and now, and how you use that.
So I've always been around, like ever since I got into college, I've always been around like 200 pounds, and I'm still there today. but just the difference in my body has changed. Like I've just leaned out so much and I've just gained like muscle mass. So I've just got so much stronger over the years. And I've learned quickly in my first year playing in the Big East, because that's probably, I mean, Dockage tries to tell me that the Big Ten is the most physical league in the country. I'm not buying that. It's clearly the Big East. Like, I mean, if you're not bleeding, if you go to the rim and you're not bleeding, you're probably not getting a foul call. So, and then just like the hand checking stuff and the stuff that you pick up on, like just the small things that you can hide from refs, like you learn quickly in the Big East. So I just really focused on getting stronger last offseason, like holding my own. Not only holding my own, but like, enforcing strength like on other players defensively. So yeah, I think I'll be curious. I mean, I know the Missouri Valley is a physical league as well.
Yeah.
I'll be curious when I get out there, and like see what it's like playing against the players in this conference. But yeah, over the years, just getting a lot stronger. It's just so important in college. And unless you're extremely fast, which I'm not, or extremely quick, which I'm not, you can maybe get away. If you have those things, you can get away with not being the strongest. But strength is just incredibly important for any college basketball player, just because the bumps and bruises, the bumps and bruises you're going to take during the season, but being able to like take contact and give contact as well is so important.
Yeah, impose your will on somebody.
Yes, sir.
How's it been adapting to Coach P's philosophy offensively?
I mean, it's been good. We use a lot of the same concepts that we use like at Butler, so it's relatively similar. But I would say there's a lot more emphasis on like moving without the ball, and even a lot more emphasis on small details, like making like a small thing that someone might not think about, like making a good pass to a shooter, because catching a ball up here is way different than catching a ball right in your shooting pocket. It just makes a world's difference. So just small. I feel like in practice a lot of the time there's like small details that some coaches might just let slide, but Coach P is going to, get that over with now, so we don't have to worry about these small details in November and December. But I like our offense a lot, free flowing, a lot of, and the players on our team help the offense a lot too, just because basically everyone on our team can shoot at an extremely high level. So I'll be very curious to see how teams are going to have to guard us in the season when you have Chase down low. How are you going to guard him? And then he's surrounded by four really good shooters. Like how are teams going to, if you want to double chase in the post, okay, well, then you pass it down, you're going to find either somebody's going to catch the ball, and that's a 40% three-point shooter you're leaving open. Or if you just let Chase go one-on-one, he's going to score every time, that type of thing. So I'm really excited to see. I'm curious to see how teams are going to try to guard us, because it's just all the shooting we have is crazy, and the depth we have is crazy, especially for this level.
So, Landon, I'm sure it's the last 3 years have gone by pretty quickly, and now it's your fourth season. You're entering that. As a fourth-year senior, how's it like to be now like a leader? That people look to you as a leader, and how's that role changed since like when you came in as a freshman?
I mean, I think this is the biggest change is like kind of what you said. Like people are looking to me for leadership, or like some of our freshmen come with me and ask questions all the time about this and that, just because I have experience. I mean, this is my third school, and each school has been at a completely different level of college basketball. So I've experienced everything there is to experience within college basketball. Played against so many players and teams and coaches and different defenses, different offenses. So I've seen it all. So it is different, but I like being, looked upon for leadership. I like that role of being a leader. I'm definitely becoming more as a leader, like as the year goes on, just because I'm still new to the team. So it's like, I mean, you already have built-in leadership with all these guys coming back. So I wasn't just going to come in here and start telling everybody what to do and this and that, right, just because you already have built-in leadership with all the guys that come back, and they've built a great culture. So that's another thing is like, with the culture that the staff has built and then the players have, executed, like there's really not a whole lot of like stern culture that or stern leadership that I would need to provide if I had to, because there's really, we all have good guys in the locker room. We all play hard. We all play the right way. So there's not a whole lot of need for like, yelling and screaming. Like that rarely happens just because we're all on the right path and doing the right thing. But I do like the role of being a leader and being looked upon as like the veteran, I guess, as I am now. This is my fourth year, last year of college, and it's just flown by so fast. Like, my freshman year, I was, just going out there just trying to get plays as much as I could. I didn't care about the stats or whatever. I just wanted to be on the court and play, and I wasn't looked upon as a leader just because I was first year in college. So it's definitely completely different now with this being my fourth and final season. But I like the role of being a leader for sure.
Talk about the culture at ISU, what you've seen there, and contrast it to what you played for at Butler, and how's it compare?
I mean, yeah, here at ISU it's just like an elite culture. Like Coach P has done a great job in his, what is this, year 4 for him, I think.
Yeah.
Done a great job of building this culture, and then, but culture is going to be so much if you don't have the right players to execute it. And the guys in the locker room are great guys, and I mean, it's just small, like I mentioned earlier, like the little things, like if someone falls in practice, like no matter what team you're on, everyone is sprinting to pick that guy up. If it was a loose ball or charge or whatever, somebody's on the ground, like just small things like that just go a long, long way when you're, trying to be together and locked in as one. So I think like the culture is just the biggest thing here in this program. And it was like, that was definitely an attraction for me and my family. Wanting to be in a good program for my last season. Because I'll be honest, like the last 2 years at Butler wasn't really the best from a culture standpoint at times. Like we struggled internally as a team. We weren't very like close knit as you need to be successful and whatnot. But I don't get that impression at all here at ISU. Like, everyone is going for the same goal. All we want to do is just win every game and get ISU back to the NCAA tournament, because it's been far too long since that's happened. Like,
Landon, wouldn't you say? I mean, I know Butler struggled over the last 2 years to get wins.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of snowballs, right? As you start to lose. I went through a losing season at ISU. When you do that, teammates start to fracture. It just kind of implodes, almost, for lack of a bad word.
No, I mean, it's right, because last year at Butler, like, we went through like a month and a half from like early December to like mid-January. We didn't win a single game. We lost 9 in a row. So it's just like good teams or competent teams, like they don't allow themselves to lose 9 games in a row. So that was so frustrating. Like last year was just extremely frustrating for me. Just like, not only because I didn't like think I was getting used right, like I wasn't playing in the role that I feel like I should have been, but on top of that, we're losing games, so it was just miserable all around. And that's all I want to do is just win games. My only, like, the dream of my whole life has just been to play in March Madness, and I'm thankful that I'm in a program where I feel like we're in a good position to get there. Now, obviously, we still have a lot of work to do. Like, it's only July 28th, whatever it is. Like, the work hasn't even really started yet. Like, we're just building the foundation right now. That's what the summer's for, but I think we can get there, and the town deserves it, the school deserves it, the fan base deserves it, just because it's been way too long. I mean, it feels like I've lived here my whole life, and I feel like for some reason, it just feels like they've been in the tournament before. Like, they just had so many good teams, they've been close so many times that, like,
right,
they deserve to get back. So hopefully we can be the team that can bring put ISU back, like, on the national scale.
So you're kind of alluding to it. So as you enter this last season, like what's your goals personally, right? And then some of the team goals.
Yeah, I mean, we in our first team meeting this summer, it's like the first day of summer, we had a team meeting, and we kind of established our team goals, and it was win Missouri Valley regular season, win Missouri Valley tournament, and make March Madness. So those are the 3 main goals this year. And if I'm confident we can get all 3, which would be amazing. Like I said, like all I want to do is just play in March Madness. So hopefully we can get that this year. But even if we, win the Missouri Valley regular season, which is extremely difficult to do because that's, 20 games, over the span of 3 months, you're going to go through ups and downs throughout that time. And then obviously you have to go down to St. Louis and win 3 or 4 games, which is going to be tough as well. which would set us up for the tournament. But yeah, those are our three main goals: regular season, conference tournament, and March Madness. And then personally, I don't know. This is like a newcomer of the year award, right?
Yep.
If I could get that one, that'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be great if I can get that. Obviously, I'd have to have a great season individually, and on top of that, like most of the individual awards come from players on winning teams. So if we're not winning games, and don't even worry about the awards because they probably won't happen. But hopefully, if I can win newcomer of the year, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I just want to win games. That's all it is. I've just gone through way too much losing over my first 3 years of college basketball. So just want to win every game if possible.
Well, and if you're winning, if you're competing for a conference championship, you only got to play 3 games,
Yep.
which is a lot better than playing 4 games, right?
lot
Back
better.
to back to back, right? Legs start to go, and so you want to be on even footing. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
So you guys have had some practices and stuff like that. Is there some of the freshmen? How are they stepping up and adjusting to from high school to college?
They've been all good. I mean, there's going to be some adjustments no matter how good you are coming out of high school, but
Yeah.
all 4 of them have been really good, and I'd say they've shown more than flashes. They've shown that they could, contribute this year and help us win games this year, which is great. Like, and they've been great additions. Like, they fit right in with the rest of us, and the great guys off the court and great guys on the court as well. Like, they play hard. They're unselfish, and like I said, they've probably exceeded expectations this summer for how well they've all been playing, and it's cool to just see them as the summer goes on and on, get better, get more vocal, be more involved in practice and whatnot. So that's been cool to see. But all 4 of them have been really, really good this summer.
So you mentioned that you knew Colton Sandage, right? He played at ISU his last year. Have you talked to him since you committed to ISU?
Yeah. So when I committed, we talked for a little bit, and then he's been at a couple practices, I want to say. So I've talked to him there. Just caught up. He just had a baby recently, so I've just been asking about dad life and that type of thing. But yeah, like I've known Colin like my whole life. He's a year older than my brother, and my brother's 2 years older than me. So it's like a 3-year gap between me and Colton. And so I would play basketball with him growing up. Would try to play football with him and my brother growing up, but I was always the small kid, and they probably grew faster than me. And like I remember, we would always go over to his house and play football, tackle football in the backyard. So like stuff like that when I'm playing against kids 2, 3, 4 years older than me is just gonna naturally make you tougher. So but yeah, me and Colin, like I said, known each other our whole lives. His older brothers played at Bloomington High School, where my dad has worked for close to 30 years. So we've had a relationship with Colin and the rest of his family for my whole life, essentially.
Did he give you any advice being a local kid joining ISU the last year?
Yeah, he told me just enjoy it. Like he just talked about how no matter where he went, he was just like recognized by somebody just from being from in town or being a player on the team. So he told me just enjoy it. I know he misses it a lot, especially Colin. That's just the competitive person he is. He more than anybody would love to get back out on the court and be able to play one more season or whatnot. But yeah, he just told me enjoy it, and it should be a fun year.
Hey, Landon, we call this closing. Stage is yours.
Yeah, first I want to thank you, John and Steve, for having me on tonight. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Yeah, so just thank you guys for having me on. Thanks to, I guess, Coach Peden, Coach Doc, Coach Slay, Coach Nettie, Chief, Betts, everyone in the staff for giving me the opportunity to come home for my last season. I know it's only July, whatever, but I wish it was November 6th right now for our first game. I'm just super excited for that to get here and start playing some games with the guys and get out there and competing, because it sucks right now. We're playing against each other every day, and you eventually get to a point where you're like, let's just play somebody else in a different colored jersey. But yeah, and then I want to just thank the fans in advance to support this upcoming season. I mean, they know just from the guys that are coming back, they know like how hard we're going to play, how together we're going to be on the court. And I'm just excited. I think we're going to bring ISU back to the national stage this season. win a lot of games, and get back to the tournament. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, Landon, thank you for being on Bird Fans Forever, episode 73. And here's the clapping. Right, there's the clapping.
There you go.